It is Monday morning, time to learn our memory verse. It is Monday morning, time to learn our memory verse. It is Monday morning, time to learn our memory verse. It is Monday morning, time to learn our memory verse.
Welcome back to Memory Monday. Finally, I'm back. Thanks for giving me time off so I could work on VBS. Now it's time to get back to our regular videos. Today, we're going to be playing a game of
Disappearing words.
You kids and I will say the memory verse for the contestants. At that time, one or two words will disappear from our game board. The contestants will hit the buzzer when they think they can correctly recite the memory verse. You kids can compete against them. Can you do better than they can? Let's find out. First, let's meet our contestants. Our first contestant is Samantha. Samantha, welcome to our game.
Thanks for having me here. I love learning about God's Word and can't wait for the chance to win.
We're glad to have you here. Our next contestant is Granny Goss. Thanks for being here, Granny.
My daughter told me that her friend's mother's brother told her that Samantha here has such a bad memory she would forget her hands if they weren't attached to her arms. So I have a good feeling about winning against her.
I guess we'll have to play the game to see about that. But first, we need to introduce our third and final contestant for the day, Judge Rudy.
Pleasure to be here. It's easy to judge that I'll be the victor today. Granny Goss is so busy with her juicy gossip, she'll be distracted. And Samantha, well, just look at her. It's obvious she spends more time in front of the mirror than she does in front of books. So let's get this game going so I can prove myself.
It seems a little like you're judging our contestants without knowing them.
It's a hazard of my job, I guess.
Judging is the topic of today's verse. Today's verse is Matthew 7:1. Don't judge others, or you will be judged. Kids, can you say it with me? Matthew 7:1. Don't judge others, or you will be judged. Okay, contestants, we will now remove a word from our game board, and you will have a chance to try and say the verse. Okay, here's our new game board. Matthew 7:1. Blank, judge others, or you will be judged. Okay, Samantha, you've buzzed in first. What is today's memory verse?
Today's memory verse is Matthew 7:1. Don't judge others, or you will be judged.
That's right. Samantha, you get our first point. Judge Rudy, you've buzzed in, but the puzzle has already been solved.
Yes, fine. I just wanted to say that I think Samantha has cheated. She looks like the type who would cheat.
I believe it. My uncle said that his mother's dead aunt's cousin's friend once saw Samantha's mother cheat on a third grade history test. And you know what they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yes, that's so true.
Well, I can assure you there's been no cheating going on in this game. But I hope this memory verse sinks into your hearts today. Kids, can you help me say the verse for our contestants again? Matthew 7:1. Don't judge others, or you will be judged. Okay, let's bring up our new game board. Matthew 7:1. Blank, judge others. Blank you, blank be judged. Okay, Judge Rudy, you were first to buzz in. Can you please tell us the memory verse?
Easy for someone such as myself, of course. It's Matthew 7:1. Judge others, and you won't be judged.
Kids, what do you think? Does that sound right? If you said no, you are correct. Granny Goss, you've buzzed in. What do you have for the verse?
I don't know the memory verse, but what I do know is that my neighbor's dog chased the other neighbor's cat, and then the birds in the neighborhood told my cousin's parrot that Judge Rudy knows what she's talking about.
Well, I'm sorry. In this case, she is incorrect. Samantha, you've buzzed in. Can you tell us the memory verse?
Today's memory verse is Matthew 7:1. Don't judge others, or you will be judged.
Kids, what do you think? Is she right? If you said yes, then yes, you are right. It's time to move on to round 3. Kids, can you say the memory verse with me? Matthew 7:1. Don't judge others, or you will be judged. Okay, now let's see our new game board. Matthew 7:1. Blank, blank others, blank you, blank be blank. Judge Rudy, you've buzzed in. Can you tell us the verse?
I've taken the liberty to rewrite your version to fit a verse more than what I would like. And here is that verse. Matthew 7:1. Don't judge others unless you can guess their situation. And if you feel they deserve to be judged and shamed, then judge and shame them. They deserve it, probably.
Kids, do I even need to ask? Is that the verse? If you said no, then you are correct. That isn't even close. Granny, have you got an answer for us?
No, but I have to agree with Judge Rudy. My mother's stepbrother's grandmother's best friend always said you can't judge a book by its cover, but sometimes you just know.
Okay, well, that's not the verse either. Let's see if we can get back on track. Samantha, do you know the verse?
Today's memory verse is Matthew 7:1. Don't judge others, or you will be judged.
Kids, does that sound right? If you said yes, then you are correct. Great job. Now, kids, help me say the verse for our contestants, and we'll move on to the 4th round. Matthew 7:1. Don't judge others, or you will be judged. Okay, let's bring up our next game board. Blank 7:1. Blank, blank others, blank you, blank, blank, blank. Samantha, you've buzzed in first. Can you tell us the verse?
Today's memory verse is Matthew 7:1. Don't judge others, or you will be judged.
Kids, does that...
I object. It is no fair letting the goody two-shoes answer first all the time. She obviously studied before the game started. I've heard about games that cheat to help the person they want to win. I heard that the one-legged sailor told the one-armed baseball player that the flat-nosed waitress said her rich friend was on a reality television show and it's not real at all. It's scripted. Humph!
I can assure you both, no verse was leaked prior to our game today. Samantha, you are correct.
You're out of order. I'll hold you in contempt.
Sorry, Judge Rudy. This is not a courtroom, and the rules of the game are the rules of the game. Everything is above board here. Kids, let's move on to our final round of the day. Can you help me tell our contestants the verse? Matthew 7:1. Don't judge others, or you will be judged. Let's bring our final game board up for the day. Wow, as you can see, it's empty. Let's see what you contestants can do. Granny Goss, you've buzzed in. Can you tell us the memory verse?
Of course I can, dear. I've been a Christian all my life. I know all the verses. But more importantly, I know this. My neighbor's flat-footed friend's son told his mother's best friend's daughter that his cousin's dog pooped on my lawn, and I feel like I should get to judge them for that, at the very least. Guilty. I find that dog guilty of first-degree inappropriate use of Granny Goss's lawn, and I hereby sentence him to 3 years in the pound. Yes!
Could we possibly move on with the game?
Yes, permission to move on is granted. Why, yes, I don't know what's stopping you.
Samantha, you've buzzed in. Can you tell us the verse?
Today's memory verse is Matthew 7:1. Don't judge others, or you will be judged.
Kids, what do you think? Did she say it right? Yes, she did. And with that, winner of all 5 rounds and the entire game is Samantha.
Ridiculous. Just look at that girl. She is not the type of girl who can learn a memory verse. I bet she doesn't even know Jesus.
Oh yes, I do know him, and I love him. I've given my heart to him.
My daughter's best friend's cousin's math teacher told me that this girl once laughed when a student fell on the playground. That doesn't sound like someone who knows Jesus. Guilty. I find Samantha guilty of laughing at others.
Yes, sometimes I fail. Sometimes I sin. I'm human after all. But when I realize what I've done, I turn away from my sin. I tell Jesus I'm sorry, and I ask him to forgive me. And he always does.
Beautiful.
I'm not buying that at all. Me neither. This girl doesn't know Jesus, and I can prove it. Samantha.
Yes?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Jesus.
Jesus who?
See, she doesn't even know who Jesus is. Ha! I rest my case.
Oh no,
This is getting out of hand here. Kids, can you help me say the verse one more time today? Matthew 7:1. Don't judge others, or you will be judged. Perfect, kids. That's all for our game of
Disappearing words.
Have a great week. See you next week. Love you. Bye-bye. Production, can we please get these contestants backstage?
Rudy, I've got to tell you. I heard the camera's guy's mother's friend's cousin told the fireman's boss's uncle that this game is rigged. I wouldn't be surprised.
I really love Jesus. I wish they would understand.